All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the 1 a.m. podcast. I wanted to see everybody's reaction. I wanted to see if it was like, that's the first time I said it. So I wanted to know how everybody was feeling about it.
I like the name.
Man.
Sounds, you know what I mean?
The
Sounds
1 a.m.
very,
podcast. The 1 a.m.
yeah.
podcast. I like
No,
it.
it rolls off the tongue well.
The 1 a.m. is short. The 1 a.m. podcast is kind of like edgy, kind of reminds you of a club. 1 a.m.
It could be like a the 1 a.m. like it sounds like a late night like sex talk hotline or something like that. I don't know. I like
That's exactly what I was thinking about too. I was like, it's like the obvious elephant in the room there, but yeah, the 1 a.m. Podcast. I'm Rashad Milligan here, joined by Mo knows. Excuse me, I'm about to slip up. Use the government. My boy Mo knows, and my boy Jelani. Jelani, what's your stage name?
It's just Jelani, you know what I mean? It's like Madonna, you know what I mean? She's just one word, you know.
All right, we got my boy Jelani and we got Mo knows, man, you know what I'm saying? And so fellas, first thing, how are you guys doing, first of all, before we get into the topics?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I appreciate it. It was a little rocky for a little minute this weekend, but bounced back, got some good rest, and we here.
For you. Mo?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Doing well, dog. Can't complain. Been working all weekend, but got today off. So, we're gonna knock this out, then we're gonna relax the rest of the day.
I feel that. And so I guess kind of going a little bit into football, because that was kind of the biggest thing that happened this weekend was NFL preseason football really kicking off and getting in full swing. Justin Fields, man, kind of made me sad. He was balling out. Had the rushing touchdown, had the play action touchdown pass. Just, I guess, do you guys have any thoughts on anything early that happened in preseason this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that don't know, all three of us are Falcons fans. Unfortunately, at times, you know what I mean. But yeah, Justin Fields, I mean, obviously it's preseason, like they're not going, you know what I mean, they're not throwing like crazy defense and nothing like that. I mean, it's second stringers too, but he definitely looked good, you know what I mean, for preseason, especially for him to be this is literally like his first NFL snaps, you know what I mean. He had 2 touchdowns, you know. The only thing we hope for as Falcons fans is that Matt Ryan, like John Elway won like 2 Super Bowls at the end of his career. Like maybe we just get like a random Super Bowl. I don't know, man. I thought we should have took him in a draft, but he looked good.
I feel you on that. Like I like Kyle Pitts, but I feel Justin Fields just would have been better for the future. Right. Kyle Pitts is good for right now, but I'm kind of the Matt Ryan era. Like we could have started working to move on from that. But I didn't really get to see too many preseason games. With the Falcon preseason game, did Kyle Pitts play?
I didn't watch that garbage. I'm not
like I thought we lost 23-3.
They're gonna break my heart for 4 months straight. Like I'm not putting myself through an extra month to watch like backups and third stringers break my heart too.
Right.
I know Felipe Franks played and everybody was gassing him because he had a 75-yard run. And I'm like, we're not doing this for Felipe Franks, guys. Come on. What are we doing? And people was like, Felipe Franks better than Justin Fields. I was like, bro, come on, chill out. So, but yeah, Fields, man, I know, but you look at Chicago, they have 3 starters. They have Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, and Fields. Like, so when people make the argument of, we already have Matt Ryan, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, blah, blah, blah. It's like, first of all, you're being completely oblivious to the context and situation here. Like, Matt Ryan hasn't really looked like himself the past couple of years. And even when he has had amazing seasons, the team was still bad because everything else was bad. So it's like, okay, he's getting older. Father Time is going to catch up to him. And the rest of the team has holes. So what do you need to do? You need to rebuild the entire roster, which it seems like the Falcons are doing at every position except for the most important position. Like they traded Julio. Yeah, that was like your officially white flag. We're tearing it all down. We're building it back up, which they should have done. But it's just like It's very frustrating. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of just ranting about Justin Fields again. Trey Lance also played well from what I heard. Lawrence played last night. I don't know how Lawrence did. I know Tim Tebow went viral for some weak blocking and looking like a quarterback blocking, trying to be a tight end. That's like white privilege at its finest, bro. Tim Tebow being, 35 years old and getting a second chance in the league after not being in the league for 5 years, becoming a TV personality, a reality TV star, the entire nine, a minor league baseball player, a mediocre minor league baseball player for a couple of years just because he wanted to do it. And like, the obvious guys who are out there who haven't had a chance just for views that people might consider controversial. But I guess any other takes before I kind of slide on to college football?
Yo, they be treating Tim Tebow like a Make-A-Wish kid. Like, he just like, that's the benefits of being white and rich, man. You just do what you want. Like, this man really just like woke up one day and was like, you know what? I want to be a minor league baseball player.
Right.
And that spring training with the Mets the next day, you know what I mean? And he said he went to – now, obviously, he – like, in this case with Jacksonville, like, his college head coach is the coach. So it's not like – obviously, if it was a more normal coach, it wouldn't be that type of situation.
Background, Jelani is a Florida fan.
Yeah, I am a Florida Gators fan. You know what I mean? The thing about college football for me, though, like, I still watch them and I care about it, but I don't know if y'all had this experience, but, like, once I went to college and I was the same age as a player and then you start getting older than a player, it's just like, bro, I know how y'all live in real life. Like, I can't really be sitting here watching y'all, like, getting upset because y'all lost a game. Like, come on, you still are college students at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I can't put too much weight in y'all like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had any more
I definitely agree. It's but that kind of brings me to my next thing of, so like I don't really care, like you said, like college football doesn't excite me like it used to when I was a kid. But there's a lot of things that don't excite me like they used to when I was a kid, like the NBA All-Star Weekend, All-Star games in general. Like that stuff used to really excite me as a kid, and I was like, whatever. Okay, that's on today. Okay, like even. I say probably USA basketball doesn't excite me as much as it did when I was like, oh, snap, I get to see Carmelo, LeBron, and Wade on the same team. Like, that used to be the most exciting thing to me. And now it's like, I don't care. Like, it's just like, I just get mad when they lose. Like, that's the biggest thing to me. But anyways, with that being said, I feel like Paige Beckers is the most popular athlete figure in college athletics right now. Like, she's more prominent than any college football player, any men's college basketball player, any other college athlete right now.
I'm gonna be honest, I've heard the name before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm trying to think about like who is.
That's what I'm saying. There's no larger than life figure.
Yeah,
like Bryce Petty,
no.
JT Daniels.
Yeah,
might be right.
I'm trying to think about this upcoming class that's going into college basketball. Like,
she's more famous than Chet Holmgren, the number one freshman coming in. They're from the same area in Minnesota. She's more popular.
I say, actually, yeah. I say she is more famous than him. Well, they're about neck and neck.
There's only one person who can contend to take that title from her. It's if Imani Bates goes to Michigan State, as opposed to going to the G League or overseas. Like, that's the only chance she has of not being the most famous college athlete this year.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Was she on the USA team at the Olympics?
She wasn't. She didn't do. Oh, she had surgery. She had surgery this summer and stuff like that. So,
okay.
but think about it, because when we were kids, this is the first time in my life the most prominent college athlete. Like I guess Suni Lee from Auburn, the gymnastics. I don't know how you say it, the gymnastics athlete, but the gymnast. Yeah, that's how you say it. The gymnast Suni Lee at Auburn, like she would probably be really famous right now just because she filled in for Simone Biles and became like a household name after medaling from that. But I mean, other than that, growing up, we always had like larger than life college football figures. We had Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Vince Young, Johnny Manziel was like the largest thing in sports for a couple years, and now it's kind of like there's not really anyone like that, which is just ridiculous to think about. But there's no one in college football.
I feel Trevor Lawrence had that last year.
Yeah.
Like
Trevor
he had
Lawrence
that for
sure.
like the last 3 years, you know. But now he overshadowed everybody so much that I feel like now it's just time for somebody new to emerge. You know, a lot of
Tua
people
was
are
like
saying
that.
I was just about to say that. Yeah,
who?
Tua.
Oh yeah.
I
A
mean,
lot of people. Oh, even say.
Oh no, you go. Mo.
I was going to say a lot of people are saying that his replacement at Clemson, like DJ, I ain't gonna even try
it. yeah. He's in the
Yeah.
Heisman race. He's in Spencer Rattler in Oklahoma, as well as Matt Corral at Ole Miss and De'Aaron King in Miami.
Yeah.
How many years has De'Aaron King been in college, bro?
I know, bro. He's one of those guys where I felt like I've seen his name forever, bro.
Who was it? Dude used to be at Kansas? Perry Ellis. Everybody used to make that joke.
Perry Ellis.
Yeah.
Perry Ellis been in college 80 years, bro.
No, I mean, if we're talking about, I know we're talking about athletes like in recent years in college that like were kind of larger than life. Zion was probably the last one that was like really like, Zion was a conversation, like, you know what I mean, when he was playing. Outside of, there was people that didn't watch college basketball that knew who Zion was.
Nah, that's a fact.
It's kind of weird though to think like, never in my life has a women's basketball player, or probably even just a woman in college athletics, been the biggest figure, and it like wasn't even close. Like it doesn't even sound right when you say it, but it is what it is. People were saying the future is female a couple years ago. We're at the future. It is what it is. But like I can't think like Candace Parker was never bigger than anyone in college football at the time. Who else? Who else would beat someone who's that big? Maya Moore was never that big. No one was really that big.
I feel with Paige though, like she has the most hype going into the season, but I don't think it's going to be maintained. Like I think there's probably going to be somebody in college football or maybe college basketball as well. Chet Holmgren, if he start going crazy, then he's going to get more attention. Cause nobody it's just unfortunate. Like nobody's really finna watch these games like that. She's going to UConn,
during
right?
the regular season. Yeah.
But like women's college basketball, I think right now is probably more popular than it's ever been. I know for me personally, I watched the WNBA All-Star game for the first time ever in my life early this year.
Okay.
I think I don't know. It was actually
pop that up.
Now hold on, time out 1 second. Don't clap for me too much. The reason I watched it was because the finals game that starts at 9 and the game can win like 7, so it was like a good placeholder. But it was entertaining nonetheless. It was good basketball, you know what I mean? And I watched the women's national championship this year. So I just think I don't know. I just think like Kobe, I feel like that was one of like the last things he got to really like be a part of before he passed, was like kind of like after he passed, like you saw more dudes wearing like the orange WNBA hoodie and stuff like that. So I think I just think the game overall for women's basketball, people got to think the WNBA is only like 26 years old. Like when the NBA was 26 years old, they was playing games on tape delay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's still got a lot of room to grow, just the women's game in general.
For sure. But I think about. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Mo was saying, with the men's season starting, Chet will probably be bigger. But last year in the men's game, there was no one like Paige was more popular than Luka Garza. I mean, like maybe.
Actually, that is true.
Maybe Cooper was like the most popular player. I mean, because Josh Christopher was mad popular coming in, but he had like an underwhelming season. BJ Boston, mad popular coming in. He had an underwhelming season. So it's like maybe Cooper was the only one to kind of – Suggs was pretty – but look, every time they talk about Suggs, when I watch them on TV, they bring up Paige. When they bring up Paige, they don't talk about Suggs.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part. Paige shows up to Suggs' Summer League game, and they're interviewing Paige about Suggs. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. And Holmgren was right there with her. It's like Holmgren, Suggs' girlfriend, Haley Van, one of Suggs' teammates from Gonzaga, and Paige. and the person they interviewed was Paige out that group, and that told me a lot. Like Suggs gets drafted, they bring up Paige Beckers. I was about to say Paige Hurd. They during the draft, during the NCAA championship, they bring up Paige Becker's name. Like it's ridiculous, bro. Like I've never seen. She had the come up through the high school ranks and everything like that on the internet, like Zion, and it was around the same time. And I've never seen that for a women's player. So I don't know. I just kind of wanted to start off with that, but I guess in college football, do you guys care about, like, I know Jelani already kind of hinted to it, but Mo, do you still care about college football the way you used to?
Not really. I used to be a real big Georgia fan, but that's before I went off to school. And I feel like with me not going to Georgia, and I feel like it's hard for me to root for these schools as heavy now. When, I'm like, people are really alumni of these schools. Like, they really can rep it. I'm like, I'm just a fan, but I can't be like invested. I've never been to the stadium. Well, I've been to the UGA game, but I have been to UGA game. But
I was about to say, dang, we went together.
Nah, but I'm saying for like most of like the schools though, like I used to be a big Florida State fan, like just all these different schools not as invested, it's just kind of like I like to see good games, and then in the college football playoffs, like if Georgia makes it, I'm definitely rooting for them, but I'm not gonna be as hurt about it no more. But I just think that's just being a fan of just Georgia sports in general. You kind of learn, like, over the last decade or so, you just kind of learn, like, all right, none of this, it could be here, then it's gone. Because I didn't see UGA this close to a national championship. I didn't see Falcons this close to a Super Bowl. The Braves that had, seemed like the super team last year, and then now Acuna's out this year. I mean, but they still working though.
They're heating up. They're heating up after that trade deadline. They were struggling all year. They made a couple moves at the deadline, and them jokers they heating up now.
They there first right now.
Shout out our guy Dansby, Lieutenant Dans.
Yeah, you doing this thing. He having like his best season of the pro right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Mo was saying about the college sports, it's just, I don't know. It's some people, like, you got some dudes that, and there's nothing wrong with this, but it's like, it's some dudes that they'll be like 40 years old and they never went to these schools and they still like super passionate about it. Like they throw the tailgates and they, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that at all. But like, I don't know, for me personally, it's just like I'll watch Florida. I'm a Florida fan, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not putting my emotional investment in like a 19-year-old. Like, I know, like, whether or not you lose this game, like, you're gonna hit campus and you're gonna try to, you know what I mean, do what 19-year-olds want to do at that age. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not gonna be upset at you for not winning a game against Vanderbilt or something like that. Like, it's not that deep.
I think a lot of it. Well, do you guys think a part of it contributes to the fact that we're from a city? Like, we're from a city with. I didn't realize this.
That's true.
Like, until I moved to other places with no professional franchises around the South and stuff. And it's like we could always go to, like, we were just spoiled with just options. I think that was one thing that you don't realize until you move away from it. Like, when I lived 30 minutes away from Auburn, and now I live, in a state with, not even close to anything professional. Like, closest professional teams are 3 hours north and 3 hours south. So like the colleges here are the professional ranks, and it was the same thing in Alabama. Like Auburn and Alabama, like those were, that was the Super Bowl. The Iron Bowl is the Super Bowl over there. So do you guys think that plays a part into it in your perspective, being from Metro Atlanta?
Yeah, Mo, you muted, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely feel that's a very good point. I think, like, with us growing up, as you said, in the city, as opposed to if we was even if we lived in Athens, Athens is, it's kind of a smaller city that's just really relying on UGA, so, but a lot of these other schools, they're in the middle of nowhere. Just even with Southern, so many people that live in Statesboro maybe never went to Southern. Like, they love, the Eagles to death. So I do think that does play a big part in that. But You know, yeah. How you feel about it, Jelani?
What it's funny that you brought this up because it always used to trip me out when like you'll have they'll show the Falcons games and they might be like not all the way sold out or something like that, and then they'll talk about well like Packers fans, they're always sold out and like these games are always sold out. I'm like, fam, your options between what you can do at 1 a.m. on a Sunday in Green Bay, Wisconsin versus Atlanta, like there's so much more to do here. So it's not like very rarely are the Falcons, unless they just like when we went to the NFC Championship and we like that was sold out in the Georgia Dome. It was packed. When they're winning, you saw with the Hawks too, like Atlanta fans to show out. But anytime you got a city like Atlanta, New York, Miami, because the Giants and Jets do not play in New York. Those games are sold out because they play in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. There's nothing to do out there either. So, like Miami, LA, Atlanta, all these cities are never going to be like.
Well, what about the Knicks? The Knicks sell out, don't they?
Well, it's the mecca of basketball, like they say, like New York basketball culture. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing with the Lakers. Like LA basketball culture is crazy too. So those are always going to be selling out.
Those are good points. Good. And then I also guess like when you're with the Lakers, there's a history tradition. Like you have a Magic Johnson and a Kobe Bryant to kind of build off of to have those diehard fans. In Atlanta, you had Dominique Wilkins, a large gap, and then Trae Young. Like that's a 20-year gap of not having a guy like that to where kids can connect to. So like Trae, people say it all the time around the city, but Trae's really important to growing, the basketball community and as well as ABO in Atlanta and stuff like that. But speaking of basketball, what about the draft class that we're seeing right now? It's a pretty good draft class, and the guys are living up to expectation. I just watched Scotty Barnes for the first time last night. Scotty Barnes was good, and he was like the one guy in the top 5 where I was like, I don't know about Scotty Barnes. He's pretty good. Like all these guys are good. Like how you feel so far about 2021 class?
I feel like the whole class, well, not the whole class. I feel like, especially like the players who had the hype coming in, I feel like they're definitely living up to the hype. One person I'm really impressed with is Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs, like, he's putting up some good numbers. It's like, I believe one night he was 16, 9, and 6 or something like that, like, and I think the first game he had like 3 blocks, when they went to OT. I feel like a lot of them are doing well. I think the Hawks got the steal of the draft with Jalen Johnson. Like he's a good player, man. Like he's a very well-rounded player as well. So I see why he had the hype going into Duke. And it just, unfortunately it didn't pan out there. But him in Atlanta is looking like it's gonna be something nice.
He gives me a lot of Josh Smith vibes though. Like, but he shoots a lot. And then he said in the athletic story he did, he was like, I know I can pass like a point guard. And I was like, oh, buddy, here we go. Because, like, I've seen some of his cross-court passes, and they made me kind of nervous. And I'm like, I already see it. This dude think he, like, yeah, he already said he knows he's the best player in the draft. So I'm like, okay, you're dealing with one of those guys. But I think at the top of the draft, like, to see those guys live up to that expectation and Sengun, too. Like, Houston is looking good. Like, all the guys that didn't perform well, that had the hype coming into college, didn't perform well last year, slid a little bit further than you expected them to. Josh Christopher, Cooper, of course. But Cooper lived up to expectation in Auburn. He just couldn't shoot. And he's small in his defense and stuff. But even BJ Boston had 17 points the other night in his Clippers debut. So everybody's like from 1 to 60, bro. Like, I don't know if the league has seen something like this. Like 2018 was a good draft class, but like beyond the first round, there's probably not that many guys that you could look at. Like I think Graham was in 2018, Devontae Graham, and a couple other guys in the second round. But this class is looking like dudes in the second round is hooping too. So yeah, go ahead, Jelani.
I just think like at minimum, like it's gonna be a draft class full of just above average NBA players. You know what I mean? Like even if it's not a bunch of all stars or Hall of Famers or nothing like that, like it's just a lot of dudes in here that's just gonna be respectable NBA players. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like you still one of the best basketball players in the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is the first time I can remember. Usually during the draft, they got that one pick that's like, yo, what were they thinking? Like that was a reach or whatever. I don't remember anybody being like, this is a bad pick or anybody reached. You know what I mean? All these guys are pretty well rounded. You know what I mean?
Maybe Josh Giddey or the boy from
Yeah,
he took at 7. Maybe him. Maybe him. But like,
Yeah, he got hurt, so I'm not even going to hold that to him.
We can't put that much stock in the summer league. Like
Summer league as well. Like I literally made fun of this the other night about NFL preseason takes and summer league takes of how people like they take that stuff as Bible, dog. And I'd be like, bro, there's so much time left that you can't really even jump on it like that. But you know, it is encouraging when you see everybody playing well.
Kyle Kuzma was looking like the second coming of Jordan.
Oh my gosh, Kuzma! They were like, oh, Kobe's gone. We got him now, and he's going with D'Lo and Lonzo. Oh man, when they won that championship, and Ingram was on the team too. I think they were like, oh, the future of LA is bright. You guys saw what happened.
Now he's out in Washington, but you know, I feel Washington with Bill, and then they got Dinwiddie now.
Don't do that.
You know,
don't do that, Mo.
Bro, they could mess around.
Don't do that.
Bill's still gonna drop his 30. Kuzma may be the resurgence he need. They got Montrezl Harrell, you know, former 6th man of the year. I'm just saying, bro. That's
what is the cap? What is the cap? What is the cap for Washington then? If you're so high on the Wizards, what's the cap?
I'm just saying that's an 8th seed if I've never seen one,
bro. Exactly.
I'm happy.
They were like 8th seed last year.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be like that much better or that much worse. Honestly, it's just the thing about like them dudes that you all named is that like those are all like solo hoopers is what I like to call them. Like they can all get a bucket or whatever, but it's like they're gonna take turns of like, okay, now it's Kyle Kuzma ISO time. Now it's obviously Bill's the best one. He should be getting the ball the most, but these other guys, they're all kind of like ball dominant players to an extent. You know what I mean? They need touches to score. So
it's the same team, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that. It's not much better.
In my opinion, it's the same. Like Dinwiddie is nice, like you said. Like he's a one-on-one. Harrell is nice on the block. You know when he gets his chance to shine, and he does well. I think in any role. I don't know about the fit with the Lakers last year, but you know as far as like the Clippers and everybody like that, he's always kind of had like you know just a nice kind of fit in and stuff like that. And you know Kuzma is decent. He's a decent player, but here's my question for y'all. If the Lakers kept everybody, because this is something that a lot of people talk about, especially this past season with the success of Clarkson. If the Lakers stayed together, what do you think they would have been at this point, 2021?
Are we saying with LeBron?
No. So you're saying D'Lo, Ingram. Well, no, hold on. D'Lo, Clarkson, Ingram, Randall. And then at the 5, who would be? It doesn't matter who's at the 5. Like when that's your first 4 with Kuzma and Lonzo coming off the bench. What'd you say?
It would have been the same spot they was in when they got broken up.
For real? You think so? For real?
Yeah, bro. Like none of those. Like okay, you said D'Lo,
All-star,
Julius Randle,
All-star.
Bro, like if anything, they would have been like an 8th or 7th seed, bro. Like, and would have got bounced in the first round.
Oh no! I'm looking at the Suns, you know, because all they need, you say, make one move like the Suns made when the Suns had Chris Paul. That's all they needed to take them to that next level. Yeah. I think they're in the same position as the Suns.
But the thing is, you got Julius Randle, who is able to break out because that became his team. Like, you know, that would have never been his team, you know, if he would have stayed with the Lakers. So you got Brandon Ingram and D'Lo, who are just better scorers naturally. And I just feel like the conflict of D'Lo versus Ingram would eventually happen, you know. So, yeah, I just don't see them ever working out for real. Like even if you had Lonzo in the mix, none of them like they just don't seem. They all needed to be separated. I feel like they did what's best for their organization.
What about Clarkson?
Oh, Clarkson. I mean, I think like he's good, but I feel like for the Jazz, they realized is he's better like, in that 6-man role. Like don't need to rely on him too much, but he could come in and grab a bucket here and there. And that's what I saw throughout the playoffs. Like a lot of the games, when they really tried to rely on him more, it didn't really work out as well, because it'll be time for it to just be like him and Donovan, the only people hitting. And then eventually he gonna stop hitting. So now you got Donovan still going, but he ain't really got no backup. And then that's where and that's why they needed Conley this year. Conley, like he eventually came back, didn't he?
Yeah. I think Conley came back in the playoffs. I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah.
I believe so. But to answer like the question you asked about the Lakers, I think the ceiling that they probably could have had if they kept D'Lo, Julius, Lonzo, Brandon, Clarkson. I'm forgetting somebody. But if they kept that core together, I would say probably like a 51 to 55 win team at the best, I think. The reason I'm saying that is because you do have the makings of a good playoff team. Like you got to score off the bench with Jordan Clarkson. Lonzo, I don't need him to be like a super scorer as a guard because that could just be, D'Angelo Russell's role is just to be the main scorer as the guard. And then Lonzo is more of a facilitator and defensive player because he shot well from 3 this year. Like people didn't really pay attention because New Orleans was.
He hit more threes than Trae Young.
There you go. There you have it. So yeah, and then Julius, that's kind of tricky because he does need touches. And like Mo was saying, like the reason why he was able to put up 24 points per game this year was because the Knicks, it wasn't like they didn't really have a secondary scorer outside of Derrick Rose coming off the bench. You know what I mean? So, like I said, at the best, more realistically, it's probably like a 45 win team. But if they was to have like their best potential season, I could see them winning like 50 to 55 games.
Say they traded Kuzma and Lonzo for who can you get for that? Anthony Davis. So you traded them two for Anthony Davis. And then so you have Anthony Davis at the 5, Randall at the 4, Russell, Clarkson, and Ingram. What could that lineup do?
Man, is Anthony Davis gonna stay healthy?
Yeah, I was feeling like I don't want to be disrespectful to Anthony Davis. I do think he's at worst, probably like at worst, maybe like 12th best player in the league. At the worst, at his best, he's easily top 10 to top 5 at his moments. But the thing about it is when you go back and look at like people try to make it seem like he was just playing with straight garbage in New Orleans. Like yes, the first couple of years it was, but like he still had like Drew Holiday. He had Boogie for a hot second. Unfortunately, he got hurt. But like
that team would have done some damage. Rondo and Cousins and if they stayed healthy, that team would have been crazy.
I'll put it like this though: you switch Anthony Davis with Giannis and this Bucks team, they do not win the finals. They're not winning the finals. I promise you that.
Nah.
They're not winning the finals. You switch AD and Giannis with this Bucks, I promise you they're not winning the finals. They're not beating Brooklyn.
Right. That injury where Giannis like hyperextended his knee, bro, Davis would have been out till 2023, bro. Yeah, like Giannis, and Giannis stepped up so big time this playoffs, man. Like, I feel like he just showed he really in a different caliber now, because just the way he moves, the angles and stuff. Like Anthony Davis is a great player, but Giannis he's just different, man.
Where do you have Giannis right now?
I gotta have him number 1. If he plays at the potential that he played him for them in the finals, for like there was nothing like it was games where he wasn't playing that well, and just because he's Giannis, he still finished with a crazy stat line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not like you can't say it's empty stats because they won the finals.
Okay, so Giannis over Kawhi, Giannis over. I don't even want to say LeBron anymore in these conversations. I feel
it's
like
really Giannis and KD.
Yeah,
That's
Giannis
one
and
and two.
KD. So where do you guys have Kawhi?
When healthy, here's the thing. Even like in 2019, when they won the finals, Kawhi still wasn't like all the way healthy. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of them games, he was limping off the court a lot of them times. He had it in him to muscle through that. And some of these players that we look at and still think of as being younger players, like Kawhi is in his 30s now. Paul George is in his 30s. These guys are not 22-year-olds anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like at a certain point, like we said last episode, everybody can't be LeBron and Chris Paul. These guys are going to start breaking down. So you're going to start seeing guys like Kawhi and Russ and certain guys like that come down. And then the Trae Youngs, that era, like they're about to start filling out that top 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got, where do you have Kawhi?
When healthy, probably like anywhere from like 5 to 8 range at this point.
I'll say when healthy, he could be in the top 5. I think he could be in the top 5 because, like, he showed in that playoff game against Dallas when he dropped 40, with he filled up the stat sheet. But I feel like he can be a great player, but he's just never healthy. So it's really hard because even when he isn't healthy, he still plays through it. It seems like he hasn't been healthy since he was with the Spurs to me, because it just seems like he's on and off. When he's on, he still feels a little labored, at times. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I still think he could be top 5 though.
So where do you have Embiid?
He's in my. I'll say he's in the 6 to 8 range for me.
Okay. So I say that to say this now. Giannis 1, KD number 2, Kawhi number 3.
We saying when healthy?
Yeah, I'm saying it because Kawhi is the best two-way guy in the league. He's one of the best
But
defenders.
is his defense
one of the best
still
offensive players.
I'll put Luka over Kawhi.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
I got to see that man win a playoff series.
Yeah, exactly. I got Steph ahead of Luka.
Oh, yeah.
I usually have Steph at 3.
Yeah.
So I'll keep Steph at 3. Giannis, KD, Steph,
LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron.
I still got Bron.
You gotta give it.
Yeah, he still, when he was healthy, was still balling. Now, I think people need to start, like, considering the fact that this man is about to be 37 and has had major injuries 2 out of the last 3 seasons. I feel like that's not being talked about enough, and this man's going to his 19th season, you know what I mean? But
right,
when healthy, he was still, like, looking like an MVP candidate earlier in the season.
So you got Bron 4, and then to round out the top 5, who gets the last spot in the top 5? Woo! You got Embiid, you got Jokic, you got Dame, you got.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, the NBA is so tough right now. I ain't gonna lie. You got Luka. I feel like if you say Luka, you got to bring up Trae name in the same breath.
Nah, but no, I feel like Luka. Jokic. I feel like Jokic. You gotta give him that respect since coming off an MVP season. I feel he should be number 5. Just because
you think Jokic is better than Embiid?
He's more reliable.
Yeah.
Embiid's upside is higher, but Jokic, what you're getting every night. And honestly, like, his upside is about the same as Embiid too, because he can go off for 40, as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Embiid is a better two-way player, but Jokic isn't even that bad of a defender anymore. Like, at one point, he was pretty bad at defense, but he's at least like a respectable defensive player at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like people try to discredit like Jokic winning MVP because they went out and they made it to the second round. They beat Portland in the first round, but like, look at who he was playing with. Like, no Jamal Murray. Like, he had like Facu Campazzo as like his second score, and Austin Rivers. Like, those are his 2 go-to guys. You know what I'm saying?
And MPJ.
but Michael Porter Jr. He has his games where he goes off, and he got these games where it's like, bro, what are you thinking right now? Like, bro, just like his basketball IQ is like very suspect at times.
He's literally like the definition of a scorer first player. Like he doesn't, if he's passing it to get the ball back. Is like he's always looking, how can I get a bucket? Is never trying to put anybody else in position. And you see it on the stat sheet. It's like he gets like 1 assist a night, maybe, if that. You know, he'll get rebounds for you though. So I will say he does have that. Like I think he averaged about 8 or 9 rebounds this season.
All I know is he averaged like 18 points, and like that was it. Like you're gonna get 18 points, that's it.
Yeah. And then his shot IQ, like great player, but it's like he's out there trying to prove something every time he's out on the court, which is cool. Like, you know, have that fire, that drive, but he be trying to shoot in everybody's face. He be doing like fadeaways and like just crazy shots. You'd be like, come on, man. Like, I don't know what the rest of the team be thinking.
Yeah, I think he still lives in with the high school mentality. Like he's still in high school, he's still #1 player and everything like that. He's still that MPJ. Because I watched an interview with him and Trae Young, where he does like a interview series now. He started with Trae, and at the end he was like, "Man, you know who I thought who was cold, who doesn't have a chance?" And he was like, Trayvon Dural, and then and what's his name? Billy Preston. You know, like guys who were like all Americans with them. I'm like, bro, are you still stuck in 2017, bro? Like, them dudes were given chances and they just like weren't good enough. Like, it just is what it is, bro. But do you guys think that he's still kind of stuck in that mode of thinking like he's the next coming of Tracy McGrady, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, the thing about Michael Porter Jr. is that he'll have like that 1 out of every 5 games where he goes off. He looks like yo, this dude is about to be an all-star player. And he is still young. He's only like 23 at the oldest, maybe. You know what I mean? So he's still
like 21.
But yeah, exactly. Trey's 22. So, and he's Trey's class, so probably 21, 22.
So, right, exactly. So he still is young. You know, I mean, he got time to develop, but it's like he just got to work on his basketball IQ. Like you got to play within like the game plan. It's not about getting as many buckets as possible. They're trying to win a game, you know what I mean? Especially when you got somebody like Jokic who's like a pass first player. We ain't never seen a center average double-digit assists, you know what I mean? Like or as like he's at this point, Jokic is only like 26. He's probably like
Jokic is already
passing center of all time, you know what I mean?
Is he the best passer in the league?
I'm trying him and Bron probably.
Trae.
When it would be. Oh yeah, Trae. Yeah, Trae too. I gotta. Yeah, you know what? Trae got to move up the rankings after that playoff run. Like, he definitely at minimum top 15.
For sure, top 15. For sure, top 15.
At the lowest, top 15.
Yeah, if you're gonna have Luka, I feel like if you have Luka at 7, 8, Trae gotta be no lower than 11 on that list. If you got Luka at 7 or 8, Trae got to be no lower than 11 on that list.
Why they got to be connected, though?
Because they came in the same draft class.
I mean, I don't think that should be connected in their rankings, though.
I mean, but I just look at it like, bro, Trae led a team to the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. His first playoff run. Beat the #1 seed. Beat 2 higher seeds. Beat the first team in the most hostile environment, the mecca of basketball. They're spitting on him. F. Trae Young. F. Trae. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just I did that for my own personal gain just to relive that in my mind. But yeah. Trae, y'all know the deal. Trae is like that, bro.
Nah, I feel you. Like, he's definitely like that. But I just think, like, Luka's out here averaging almost 30 points with 10 rebounds. He averaged almost a triple-double when he was in the playoffs, going crazy. It just he didn't have the team around him. Like he supposed to, but at the same time, Trae arguably doesn't. He has a team, but he got Bogdanovich, he got Gallinari.
Trae got a team now. Trae has a team now. That team last year was a team. It was a better team than Dallas had. But the 2 years before that, Dallas had a team that the Hawks didn't have. So
okay, so all right, switch roles. Trey's on Dallas right now, and Luka's on the Hawks. What's the ceiling?
well, I'll start off with this disclaimer. The Hawks have built the Hawks around Trey's game. Like they literally they put him with shooters so Trey can drive when he wants to drive and distribute and everything like that. So they built that team around Trey Young. So the Luka team, Luka coming into the Hawks, that isn't much of a team that kind of fits with Luka's game. Like Luka has a different style than Trey. So, just start off with that. And then so I guess with Dallas, Trey could probably take Dallas to the playoffs first round, take him to game 7. Is he beating the Clippers game 7 in LA? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Trey's doing that. So, I mean, he met his match, but at the same time, Trey went into, Kevin Huerter did, game 7 in Philadelphia and took down the number 1 seed. So, I don't think that's nothing to scoff at, but Trey didn't necessarily have the best game in game 7. He just did enough to set up Kevin Huerter to really take him over the top. Is a guy like Tim Hardaway, I think it depends on if Tim Hardaway Jr. and supposedly game 7 against the Clippers in LA has the type of night that Kevin Huerter had in Philadelphia. So that's the hypothetical. I think that's the difference in this kind of hypothetical argument.
When we talk about Luka and Trey, like the thing that frustrates me about the debate or whatever is that like literally the only thing that Luka does better than Trey Young is rebound, and that's because he's 6 inches taller than him and like 60 pounds heavier than him. If we talk about defense, scoring, facilitating, they are equal as players. Like they're both great players, but obviously the bigger player is going to be a better rebounder than the 6'1", 180-pound player. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trey's still averaging like 5 rebounds a game, which is crazy. He still averages like 25, like 9 assists, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds.
But I just feel Luka, especially with him being a bigger player, a more sturdy player, he on a night-to-night basis, especially in the playoffs, he can go get the buckets that you need. And, and I just think about in some of these series, Trey they were roughing him up. He was doing his best, but they were roughing him up, And you saw the results of that as the playoffs went on. His numbers started to lower more and more.
Except for when he scored 48 points in the game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah, in game 1. And then, like the rest of the series, he got hurt. And then, I know that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's just a result of it was just, but actually that's not even a result of them roughing up. He stepped on the ref foot. I forgot.
Yep.
I was just going to say that ref was like a CIA operative. Like,
right.
It said he live in Atlanta too. That's the craziest part.
Dang. He gonna have to move.
He got to keep his mask on at all times, wear some shades and a hat in the grocery store and stuff.
Adam Silver put that bag out. He's like, listen, we got to make Giannis a new star. We need to face.
We can't have Hawks and Suns in the finals. That would have been Hawks and Jazz would have been their nightmare in the finals. The battle of the Bogdanoviches.
The Jazz against anybody is disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm never like when they make the playoffs every year, and I'm never excited to watch them play in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Jazz. I think the playoffs that we had, the finals that we had worked out well, but if the Jazz was in it, the Jazz versus the Bucks. I don't know. That would not been. Yeah, the ratings would have been low. Because nobody would have watched that.
It was such a Bucks and Suns was such a good series. I think that was where do you guys rank that series as far as I think it's definitely the best final since when was that? 16? Yeah, 16 when game 7 block and the Kyrie shot. That was definitely the best final since 16. And then 16 was the best final since 2010. So yeah, I'll put them like that. I'll put them like if I had to rank those 3, I'd put 16 number 1. 2010 number 2, and then this year number 3.
You putting this year over 2013?
2013. That was
He
What
Spurs.
was that? Was that the Ray Allen
Ray
shot
Allen?
in the corner?
Yeah, he
Rebound?
put. I can't put this one up.
Ooh, that was a good one. Oh man, and Tim Duncan missed that bunny, bro.
On the low, 2019 was actually like a pretty good, like outside of KD, Steph getting hurt. Like
I was just about to say that because you got Steph. They still almost won that game, and they would have went to Game 7. It would have still been close.
Right.
2019, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Since when everybody going down, it kind of watered it for me. Like it was great with the memes with the Drake meme, but like, and then Steph stepped up to the occasion where it was like, all right, we got to see how good. Like people have been trying Steph Curry ever since the super team era of like, I don't know about Steph. He's always had the. And then every single time when they go out, Steph proves them wrong. Like he did it all last season. They're like, we got to see how good Steph is. He averaged like 50 points. But in the finals, they were like, everybody was out for them. And Steph put up like 46, almost hit the last shot or whatever, like he said, to force that Game 7. And like, oh my, Steph is just, I think he's underappreciated. I ain't gonna lie. Steph is underappreciated. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he's light-skinned, because he's small, but Steph, I think the generation definitely undervalues Steph. Like, everybody acknowledges that he changed the game, but like, just him as a player, I think he's undervalued.
I'm gonna just keep it simple. Steph has a ring without KD.
Yeah.
He does not have rings without Steph.
Yeah, I think, but you look at KD's foot, like KD's, like if his foot, like he said, wasn't a size 17, wasn't a size 17, he'd probably have a ring this year.
It'd be like that sometimes. He said he's had plenty. It ain't like it's his only chance. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I thought Steph should have won Finals MVP in 2018. I thought Steph was better than KD in that Finals.
He definitely had it in 2015.
Definitely should have won Finals. That's so, like, as we get, like, as the years go by, we look back on that, that's going to be so bad to look back on. No disrespect to Iggy, but, like, what are we talking about here? Like, Steph was clearly, if you're not going to give it to LeBron, who was the best player in the whole series, you got to give it to the best player on the winning team. Like, Iggy, and LeBron still averaged 36, and they gave it to him because Iggy.
That's why LeBron went off, and people was like, he shut down LeBron. He contained. I'm like, bro, in what world is that containing LeBron, bro?
But you got to be real though. Like in the moment, though, that's one of them things that, like, in the moment, it didn't feel that crazy.
It made sense. It made sense in the moment. I ain't gonna lie. In 2015,
like, if he wasn't there, bro, LeBron would have went for like 50 every night. Yeah, he was getting 36, but he would have went for like 50. Like, cause Iggy was on him, bro. And that's why when he got it, everybody was like, okay, yeah, he was doing his thing, But then we look back on it like, wait, hold on. LeBron had 36, 11, and 12? Like, what?
Like, I think the thing that kind of makes me the most upset about these Warriors teams is that, like, Andre Iguodala and JaVale McGee now have, like, two of the best basketball resumes ever.
Yeah, JaVale got two. He got 2 rings.
He's got 3.
He got 3.
He's
got no. Yeah, I'm saying
2 with the Warriors. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
And an Olympic gold medal. And Iggy has an Olympic gold medal, a Finals MVP, and how many rings? 2 or 3? He was on all 3 teams.
Yeah, he was on all 3.
Yeah.
He's got 3 rings, a Finals MVP, Olympic gold medalist, and he was an All-Star when he used to be good.
And he coming back for the ring this year.
Hey, listen, Jonathan Kuminga, he might be like our, the same way.
What I tell you, Jelani, what I tell you. Hey, listen to the 1 a.m. podcast. I said it before the summer league started. I said Jalen Green and Kuminga, they're gonna be the front runners for Rookie of the Year because the G League prepared them above every other kid. I told y'all. Hey, I tried to tell them. Hey, Kuminga, bro. I told them, and people was like, "Oh, they got this undeveloped teenager to put around Steph Curry." I'm like, bro, he played well in the G League. Like, he didn't play like the best every single game, but he was 18. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? So
he's the youngest. Isn't he one of the youngest players in the draft? Like, because he was reclassified.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That's why I think, like, I thought that was great pickups, like with him and Moses Moody for the Warriors. Like, I think they're both just players who can fit into their roles early, because they have a high IQ, like, not the highest IQ, but I feel like they got good IQ. You can see it in their game and you see it in the summer league, like they know they know their role. They know, and I feel once they play with Steph in them, and then now you got Iggy back, and I feel he's going to be a good mentoring piece. He ain't really there to really lock down nobody no more, You saw that when he was playing for the Heat. He came in, shot a couple threes, but that about it. But I feel like he's going to be a good mentor piece for the younger dudes, especially Kuminga. And now you can get off of Andrew Wiggins. I would try and trade Andrew Wiggins and some first-round picks for whoever.
Boy from Toronto. Spin move boy. What's his name? What's spin move boy name?
Siakam. That's good.
Hey, come buckets is getting Andrew Wiggins out of here, man. Come buckets, man.
Did y'all see that tweet last summer during the bubble? Somebody called that man African Beyblade.
What?
Called that man Pascal an African Beyblade, bro.
Spin move boy. Get spin move boy over there, man. Hey, look. African Blade. That's a squad right there. And then, but yeah. Hey, but look at this transition though. Speaking of come buckets, Brittany Renner and PJ Washington.
With
that thing, I guess just obviously you guys know the story if you have internet connection. Brittany Renner, IG model, has dated every celebrity. She's kind of built a following off of kind of making jokes about being an IG model. It's like she's embraced it to build her brand even more throughout the years. And she got with PJ Washington, who she started grooming in college, where she would go to his games in Kentucky gear and flirt with him and everything like that through the draft. Stayed with them. They I think they even got married. I don't know if they got married, but I know he got her pregnant. And yeah, they had the baby. The baby's a couple of years old, and now she left them. And there's been a bunch of false internet rumors that he's paying $200,000 a month. That's not true, but still, everybody's like, oh, you still got trapped out of something because he's paying her something. She has full, I think, the custody of the baby and stuff like that. So with that being said, the angle that I had for the fellas earlier this week was, what was the biggest kind of L? And what was one situation when a woman kind of just had you looking down bad?
Oh man. All right. I'll keep it all the way honest, man. Like this is probably, as a man, I gotta be completely honest. Probably the corniest thing I ever did as a man. Just being totally honest with you. So I was a girl. We were doing, what adults do, some extracurricular activities. And the yams were, the yams were bountiful. The yams were plentiful. You know what I mean? So anyway, she was cool. Like we had our dope relationship, but she just wanted me straight just for sex. Like she didn't have any emotional feelings toward me. And I'm not even gonna sit up here and cap. I did, you know what I mean? Your boy was out there kind of on his like certified lover boy type wave at the time. You know what I mean? I did catch a little bit of feelings or whatever. So anyway, she had like her college homecoming weekend or whatever. And you know what I mean? She was on Instagram, like, girls being homecoming, like you get a little bit loose, start, twerking on random people and stuff like that. And I'm not going to front, like, I got a little bit upset about it and I complained about it to her. And like, when you eat bad food and you got a bad like aftertaste when you eat it, like as soon as the words came out of my mouth, like I tasted the corniness in my mouth when I said it. And it was just a bad situation, man. We never did what we used to do again. Like it was a learning experience. Like just sometimes you just gotta just play your role, man. Don't be, it was a nasty situation. Let's put it like that.
Right.
All right, nobody else quick to share. I just put myself.
I was about to say, I like, go ahead.
All right, well, next time.
Hey, look. Jelani shared his. I was like, damn, I got too many moments. I'm like,
I do got more. We can unload the clip now. I got a few.
I'm gonna let Mo go next.
Man, like, I've really been thinking about this, and like not even like I couldn't really think of anything with like a chick that I was really involved with that like I felt like just hey, do you guys like I'm for real like
I got one for you.
Okay, which one?
The girl you dated left you, right? Went to her ex for a little bit, and then just went full gay after that, bro.
I mean, but
to a whole woman, bro.
But still, like that didn't play. She didn't play me. Why? That's why I'm like,
yeah, she didn't. But that's a pretty. I don't know. I guess like that's not directly to you, but like.
Nah, and I feel you. Like I thought about that. I was like, yeah, she did go back to her ex, so that was foul. Like, and then and then capped to me about it. So I feel, but there was this one. I'll say one moment that I got played out in public that was bad for my pride. I ain't gonna even lie. It was like I was at the Atlantic Station. It was my 16th birthday, and I was with a couple of my homeboys, and we were walking. We saw some girls, and so my homeboy was like, "Hey, bro, you see that girl up there? You should go holler at her." I'm like, "All right, bet," and he like, "Yeah," but so we walking, we behind him. And then so, I ain't gonna cap. I was a little nervous because, I was like, this is back in the chubby mo days.
I was about to say you 16.
Yeah, like, but so I'm like, I'm about to walk up to him. And then so they go, my boys are like, yeah, make your move, Mo. Make your move, Mo. And like they saying it out loud. Oh, girl can hear it. The girl didn't even turn around and says, don't make your move, Mo. And
oh man,
yeah, I was like, yo, I literally just stopped walking. I was like, damn, all right, say less. Like, and yeah, I turned around, kept moving.
Did she even see you? Like, was she just like?
Bro, I don't even know, bro. Like that's why I was saying it did look like she turned around. Like maybe she saw from peripherals, like maybe her homegirl looked. I don't know, but she was just like, yeah, don't make your move, Mo. I was like, damn. Like, you ain't have to put my name in it. Like, I was like, damn.
You got a curve with her back to you. That's a crazy curve. Like,
bruh, yeah.
That's next level.
Yeah, that was stuck. That was stuck, bro.
For me, I don't know. Like I said, when Jelani shared his, I was like, oh my gosh, I have too many to pick from, too many stories. But before I go, like, first of all, I don't even know which one I would even pick. So Mo, I think Mo would have a better idea of like the biggest L I took than I would myself.
Oh, I know one too. I don't
know see, that's bad. See, because Jelani, like we said before we recorded the last episode, Jelani was just talking to us about how we haven't even talked in 5 years. So the fact that Jelani even knows one, that's bad, man. That's pretty bad.
I don't know how. I mean, you put Moho business out there.
Right.
So I guess I'll share one more after this.
Yeah. Both of y'all could go pile up on me since I called out one of Mo's things. But I want to also start off with this disclaimer. The point of this segment is to show kids it's all learning experiences. You use them as learning experiences as part of getting older. You're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that next time. Maybe I shouldn't do that next time. And then you get better from it. So I guess
I'll never talk to a girl about her Instagram ever again. That was a one-time lesson. Don't be corny like that.
Right.
Mind your business. But yeah, the story. Do you remember in high school you was seeing a girl that was a twin for a second? The light-skinned girl. She was a twin.
She was tall?
This is our senior year. Yes.
Yo, I DM'd her yesterday, ironically.
Are you dead serious?
I DM'd her yesterday, yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you want to bring that one up then.
Nah, but like it was nothing. It was just like yo, I see you, keep going. Oh, appreciate that, King.
Keep grinding, sis.
Yeah. They keep grinding. This is a nasty DM, bro.
Wait, hold on. Who was the twin?
Her and her sister ended up messing with she had a twin sister. Her and her sister ended up messing up with the same dude. But your L in the part of the matter was that she still wanted to mess with the dude instead of you
Oh
at the
my
moment.
god.
You know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
my
You know who I'm
gosh,
talking
that's
about.
bad. That's
You know
pretty
who I'm
bad.
talking-
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That was the L at the end. When I was like, I don't know how I found out. Like we were just talking, and she's like, I was just, I was like, you talking about bro? Like that, because that was my dog too.
Yeah.
Still my dog. Still my dog. And then she was like, yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just I just can't. It's just something about it. And then like I dirty Mac and I screenshot me and bro's conversations and I sent it to her. Yeah.
She was a twin?
No,
I'm sorry, that just threw me off. I never knew she was a twin.
I don't think she's a twin, but
Or,
she has
or
like
like
a,
a
she has
twin.
an
Well,
older
even
sister.
if they were twins, they were like
And the older sister was rocking with I guess you could say because nobody else knows him, like unless it's a lot of Marietta people watch this. A lot of people Marietta people watch this because Jelani was like blast. I saw it. Jelani was blasting it, so it was a bunch of.
We'll say just for the sake of the story, we'll say his name is Chris.
Yeah.
But Chris smashed her and her sister
and the sister, bro.
And the girl still wanted him over
and
Rashad.
Chris is the one. And Chris is the one who set me up. He threw the alley for me.
Oh yeah, man.
That's even worse. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's bad.
I remember, that was like the day before like a pep rally or something. And he came up to me and was like, bro, you would not believe what your boy did. I was like, what?
That's like one of my last memories of high school. I remember that.
Oh, and then, but another part of it that like the entire school, this was like probably the, excuse me, the only time I was like the topic of high school was when we beefed publicly on the timeline, bro. This was when Twitter was fun too. And we beefed, like we subtweeted each other all night. And like it was the talk of the school. And it was pretty embarrassing, but hey, I like looking back on it, it is kind of cool that I was the topic of the school for one night. You know, you always want your one night, your one shining moment when you're a kid, but that still haunts me.
That ain't what you want to be the topic about.
You're right.
I wish that, you know what, but I don't want to pile on. I'll share one more. So I remember it was Valentine's Day. Now that I think about it, I took 2 L's on Valentine's Day back to back. So Valentine's Day 2012, I had like $100 to my name at the time. And you know, when you're in high school, $100 is like, bro, you could buy cookies for the rest of the year. Like, you good in high school with $100. So anyway, I spent my whole $100 on Valentine's Day gifts for the girl that I was dating at the time. Yeah. And I find out at the end of the day, her best friend comes up to me and she was like, yo, you didn't hear? And she was like, your girl kissed so-and-so. She kissed her best friend's boyfriend at the time. So that's how I found out that my girl that I just gave all these gifts to cheated on me in high school. And then the second L I took the next year, I didn't get cheated on or nothing like that. But what happened was this girl, and she was of Caucasian descent. And this was the last white girl that I ended up messing with. She gave me a Chick-fil-A gift card. And she gave me a polo T-shirt. Now this sounds good. No, the polo T-shirt had like a grease stain in it that couldn't get out. So that was ruined off top. The Chick-fil-A gift card, I didn't have a car at the time, so there was a Chick-fil-A up the street from me. So I walked to the Chick-fil-A after school. It's like raining and stuff. I get up there. Bro, the Chick-fil-A gift card has no money on it. Like, I had like a big order. It was a $25 gift card. This order was like $24. I'm like, bro, I'm maxing this out first trip. No money on it. Declined, had to walk back. So yeah, that was back-to-back L's on Valentine's Day.
She got you one of them Goodwill polos.
Bro, she definitely got the Marshalls like back at the rack.
Yo.
Yeah, it was bad.
Dang.
We doing this for the people. We put ourselves out there.
Yeah. You go ahead. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Bruh, all right. Just for the people who don't know, I've been in a relationship for a good minute. So like that's why I'm really trying to think, because it's like anything I think of, like, and then, huh?
Yeah, that was high school for me. Though.
I was just saying it's way back.
Yeah,
and that's why I like, dang. I mean, yeah, I mean, I ain't really got that like y'all, like for real, like I'm really trying to think, like, damn.
See, I didn't get good with women until I was like probably like 20, like late 23, early 24,
I
probably.
was about
Like
to say, you
I'm about
good
to be
with women?
26.
I'm still,
Decent,
hey, I'm
decent.
still, I'm
For me to
still in
be,
my,
listen,
I'm
I ain't
still
got the
in my
prettiest
19-year-old
face.
bag.
I ain't got the prettiest face. I do okay for, you know what I mean, for what I felt I got. Rashad, you're not giving yourself enough credit, bro. I feel like you know what I mean, you're an upstanding young man.
Now
Oh,
Rashad B, I'm not
no,
gonna
hey, I ain't gonna, yeah. I got a good record. I got a good record, bro. Like my all right, what do you call it? What do you call it? The
Your
history or
resume?
something like that. Yeah, I got a good resume. But the last couple years, I ain't gonna lie. I've been settling a little bit last couple years, but like I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like I'm 6 hours away from all my friends and family. So, I mean, but if I was in Atlanta, like it'll be a different story. But yeah.
No, I was gonna say Mo. I feel like Mo was the first out of all. Like Mo was before. This is obviously before his girls when we was like late teenagers, like early 2021. Like Mo was doing his thing. Like Mo was, you know what I mean. He was out here for a little while.
Mo was moving around with the,
Yeah, he
you
was
know,
out here.
I think, I don't know if it's because he started moving a little early, making his move earlier, but like, he was like, suave, could slide in and have conversations with girls and everything like that. Even in his
Mo had the whip
kind of
first
body
too.
transformation phase.
Nah, that's a fact. That's like the whip, bro. I reflect on a lot of things, especially like with like high school and stuff, and just like relationships that I had with people. And I feel like some of them were like really like dictated by like the fact that I had a whip. It's like, oh, you can get us around or blah blah. Not that it's like it's some of them grew into like way, really good relationship. But I feel like, yeah, having a whip early, like you really realize like some people is like, all right, I'm gonna rock with him because he gonna be able to get us around. But nah,
R.P.
man, like
Barbara, R.P. Barbara.
RP Barber, bro.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Bro, I remember this one time though, I was talking to this chick, and I say one thing that always messes me up with girls is like if like music choice. Because, some girls, just to be real, like, they just want to be so cool. And like, so a lot of people don't rock with Drake. Drake is my favorite artist person. So it's just like you saying you like Drake is like, oh, you want them sensitive, about sensitive dudes, which I don't feel like it means nothing. It's just you like good music. And I remember that it's been a couple of times. I remember this one girl in particular. I was telling her we was listening to Drake and Future album, and she was like, "Yeah, like I like this album, but I don't know. I'm just not that big a fan of Drake." I was like, "What? You don't like Drake? Drake my favorite artist." She's like, "Oh, yeah, I really only like Future." I was like, I was on the album. I was like, "What? You didn't like none of Drake part?" You're like, "Nah, not really." I was like, "What?" I was like, okay. And I could just see from right there, like the whole momentum and like energy just went down. It was just like, all right, well, yeah, we're going back to like, you go ahead and take me back home now. I was like, dang, like, just because I like Drake. But hey, it be like that though. Some girls like they really, they they feel like it's soft.
Well, one girl straight up told me I was ugly. And
Dang.
it was someone I was like, I was dating. Like, she went to Jacksonville State too, and I dated her like kind of. I don't know if you say dated, but we went on dates for 2 years. Yeah. And like one time, I was just like, hey, like I said something, and then she responded. She's like, well, like usually, like if I find a person like attractive or something, and I was like, so you don't think I'm like, and then like she didn't respond. And oh no. And then I brought up another example. I was just talking to her about like friend zoning and stuff, like the kind of how a woman friend zone. And she was like, oh, if a girl's doing that, she probably thinks you ugly. LOL. And I was like, am I ugly? And then she kept responding to different parts of the conversation. Like, yeah, but like, am I ugly though? She's like, no, but like it is hot outside and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So and then so the next morning I put a bag on my head and I took a selfie in the bathroom and I sent it to her. I was like, ugly man about to head out to work. And she was like, Lamo, don't say that about yourself. I never responded to her. That was like 2018. And but yeah, that was pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie. It was when I had someone who I literally was taking out on dates for 2 years called me ugly. And I found out at the end of 2 years because I was like, it's nothing like there's no kind of momentum here. It's just kind of just going out there, you know, eat and do different things. But like one thing I never wanted to do was be free food. I've always been cognizant of that. So I always, you sure you don't want to go to the park, the museum? How you guys feel about being saved as free food?
Listen, man, you gotta pay to play, man. It's just it's a real like that's you can get away with that stuff when we like because you gotta think like when we like 19, 20, 21, like girls they've never dated a guy with their own apartment or stuff like that. So it's like little stuff like that will like impress them. You could just invite or even just having like your mom's basement open, like a girl will just pull up on you on the first date. When you get to be like 24, 25, 26, like these grown women not trying to, unless they just really, they know off top that they just want to have sex with you. More times than not, like they're not just trying to pull up on you for the first time. Like you gotta at least you
gotta show some type of effort. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it is what it is. Like if you gonna pay one way or another either way. So it's like if you getting some type of benefit out of the situation, even if it's not sexual, like you just have a good dinner. It is what it is.
I think there's a cap though. It's like 3 dates. If 3 dates in a row and every single time you go into a restaurant
and you ain't even got like
you're not even moving, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, you ain't got a peck on the lips yet or a cheek. Like she's just like, all right, well, thank you for that meal. Then yeah, you at that point you are the free food guy.
Yeah,
you saved us free food.
Let's look, you know, like I think with that though, like you gotta just be cognizant of what y'all doing. Like I'm not finna, like after the second time, we're not gonna go get like we'll go get food, but I'm saying like it's not finna be we're going to a restaurant. You know, if you just keep talking about like, there's certain restaurants I'm trying to get to, blah blah. It's like it's like what? Like, I've never been to STK. Man, Chops, I heard they be, you know, and then, you know, we end up going through that. But yeah, you just gotta be cognizant of little stuff like that. Cause like, but I can't be no free food, man. Like, just to answer your question, like, and that's something that I try to put the situation where it's not just always about us going to get food. Let's do other activities, you know? So it's like, and I'm gonna see if you really rock with me from that.
How do y'all feel about the woman who's above chain restaurants? Do you feel like she's not even it? If you above chain restaurants, I don't know if I could rock with you.
But what chain restaurants are we talking about? Because it's certain chain restaurants where if you do them, I don't want to date you.
Old Charlie's, Red Lobster.
Oh, Charlie, that's okay. Like that's respectable. You could get a decent. But if I don't want to date a girl that eats at like Long John Silver's, like that's gross. Like I'm not. No, I'm good. You eat Arby's, like it's just certain restaurants I don't want to like. As a woman, I just feel like you shouldn't because as a grown man and men are gross. I'm not eating at Long John Silver.
What about Outback Steakhouse?
You could eat respectably at Outback.
Thank you.
Yeah,
because you have to think like these are like also like mom foods, you know what I'm saying? Like mom places, like, and I feel like if you're above that, it's like, bro, one day you're gonna have kids in the family. You're gonna be like, nah, we can't go to Outback Steak. We can't go to what's the place called? The Krusty Krab, the crab joint, Juicy Crab. We can't go to Juicy Crab. We can't go to, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, like, no, this is where moms go. This is where families go to eat. So it's like, that's how I'm looking at it. If you're too good for them now, then it's like, I don't know if you even the one, because you're not even like mom material to like, you above it. You above Kohl's, you above Target. You know what I'm saying? Can't date nobody who's above Target or Kohl's.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you on that. Like, a girl who just overly bougie, just all this extra stuff. You know, I don't even want to. I feel Golden Corral still a respectable place from time to time. You know,
for families, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, after this Panasonic, I don't know if you could do it after the Panasonic because it's like, you know, you got the little 8-year-olds, you know, on the chicken. Like back then, we was just like, you just didn't think about it. You just close your eyes and got your food, you know, and head back to the seat.
I guess, you know, as a person who's been in a relationship for a little minute, it's like, you know, you can have those nice date nights, but you know, if you just want to grab some food, you know, it's a random Tuesday. You know, I see nothing wrong, even though me and my girl have never been to Golden Corral because she would not go there.
I can't go in a Panasonic now.
Yeah, because of the panorama has like messed it all up. But I feel like I don't know. I would still go. Like I'm not above none of that stuff. I feel like
I love Golden Corral, man.
Brad, that's what I'm saying.
$12 for all the food you want.
Taking a woman on the first date to go to Corral is absolutely
that's
disgusting.
Wild.
Though. That is like you are insane. Like I don't know what's going through your brain to take a woman on the first date. Be like, hey, all the all the skinless shrimp you can eat. You know what I mean? Like I don't. That's not gonna get the draw.
No, taking a big girl on the first date to Golden Corral, bro. Like
that's disrespectful.
Y'all want to hear something crazy? Like, side note, this girl, I'm a server. So, like, it was a big chick that was on a date with this Indian dude. And, like, his vibe was already off for me. I felt like he was just, like, taking her out so he could just try and hit, for real. And, buddy end up, like, in the middle of the date, act like he was going to the bathroom, paid for the drinks, told the bartender, she weird, and then walked out, and then made her pay for her food. And like I had to walk up to her and give it to her. I didn't know what was going on. Like bartender was just like, her date walked out. So I walked up to her, I'm like, you just gotta pay for this. And she's like, where's my date? I was like, he gone. Like, I'm sorry. She's like, oh my God.
That's why, bro. That's why, like,
yeah.
People got to have the courage, bro, to at least, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I ain't vibing. And then pay for it and then go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Take the L and move on. That's whack. But go ahead, Mo. My bad.
But no, because, the moral of the story was just, like, I just felt like it was so messed up just in the fact that people don't be thinking about, I think about how she, like, she's a bigger chick, probably really got dressed up, was excited for the date, and then, this type of stuff happened. And, this stuff like that be really messing with people, just how we have our moments that, have shaped us to be the men that we are, and it's sometimes character building, but sometimes it's just like really depleting. And it's just like, and I just hate it for people, man. Like, I just feel like it's messed up out here.
How do y'all feel about the gender wars? Because I feel like, a situation like that is what leads into women being like, oh, man, like, I hate men. Like, oh, then, there was someone who screenshotted Lindsay Lohan, who opened a club for only women. And, everybody was like, Lindsay Lohan has the keys. And it's like, bro, like, what did men do to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to coexist with the other species. Like, regardless of what you like, you have to coexist with each other for, like, life to, even work. So it's like, how do you guys feel about the gender wars now with the Kevin Samuels on the men's side and everybody pushing back on the men's side of, like, the key to getting women and keeping women is acting like you don't care. And I talk down on women. I got to talk down on my woman, because when I talk down on my woman, I get my woman and they're more hooked and they love that. That's female nature. And then the woman's side of the hate men, I hate all men, rob that man, scam that man. It makes up for the wage gap and just kind of labor laws and everything like that. How do you guys feel about the gender wars, like, and where it stands and stuff?
I mean, I do think women, like all things considered, probably got it worse, like on earth than men do. Like, just as far as, okay, like when we complain about, like the things that we do complain about women, it's usually like more of just because of like it annoys us or like stuff like that. But like when women complain about men, like as far as like harassment and like sexual assault, like I've walked, like I was living like I don't want to say the city, but I was living somewhere and I would walk around there with no hesitation or no thought of getting kidnapped or sold into sex trafficking or nothing like that, or like someone stalking me to my apartment or whatever, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I give women more leeway to complain about men than I do like the other way around. Because like, at the end of the day, like the stuff we complain about with women, like it annoys us, but it don't be that deep.
I mean, but it be some. I hear you on that on the serious front, but I'm talking about like they talking about complaining about dates and like men not being able to read their minds and these text messages. Like it'd be petty stuff. You know what I'm saying? The petty stuff they complain
Yeah,
about with
that's
men.
what I'm saying.
So you feel like they have the leeway to pass to complain about petty stuff and men in general just because of all the serious stuff they have to deal with men?
No, some women be wilding. Don't get it twisted. It definitely be some stuff like, yo, like, what are you talking about? Like, you sound crazy right now. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I try not to. You log on Twitter every day. It's like, what's the gender war gonna be today? Like, it'd be like really stupid stuff. Like, we always have this recurrent argument every Thanksgiving, like who should have they plate fixed first and all that. Like, bro, do y'all really care about plate fixing right now? Like, what are we talking about?
Who gets the front seat?
Yeah, your mom or your girl who gets to sit in the front seat. Like, bro, we're going to the same place. Like, is it that deep?
PWIs versus HBCUs. Social media is the best, man.
$200 dates.
But yeah, Mo, what do you think? What do you think with the kind of playing the game? Because, now it's a game. Like, you aren't single. And Jelani, I don't know about you. Jelani, are you locked down right now?
I'm out here.
You out here?
So it's like, though, I'm not just like,
yeah, I hear you.
Slinging ding-a-ling around the street.
So I guess, like, the game, Jelani. So it's like, it's a game now. Like, it's always been a game, just historically, but now the game is on YouTube, social media, and everything like that, of where they're teaching these men, this is how you get women, this is how you keep a woman. Like, how do you feel about all that?
These dudes, yeah, I'm gonna let you go, Mo, because I definitely got thoughts on that.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, I think, well, as far as like the people who are on YouTube, like the Kevin Samuels, stuff like that, I don't think what he be saying be completely wrong. It don't be, but at the same time, like, I do feel like he goes about it in the wrong way. It's like he says honest things that a lot of men do be kind of thinking, but he just says it so like harshly and so like messed up. But I just think when he's saying like the realization of like, yeah, like a 35-year-old woman with 3 kids is not as viable of an option as a 22-year-old with no kids, just in the sense of you building the rest your relation, building like a family, and then like, so stuff like that. And that's what he's kind of getting at, which is just true, but it's just like, he just makes it seem like he talks in absolutes, like, yeah, if you this, like, you 35 with kids, you ain't never gonna get no man of this caliber. And it's like, dang, like, it could definitely happen. It's just like the likeliness isn't as high, but, and I just feel, I don't know, he be doing a lot of stuff for clout, but, and just people in general, a lot of people who follow him, and they, like, I hate when I hear a dude talk about these modern women versus traditional women and all that stupid crap. I'm like, bruh, like, I don't know. It's like you focus on the wrong things if you sit here even trying to separate the women. It's like, I don't know. Each woman is a different individual, so you got to approach it how you're going to approach it. But you sit here like, you just want these modern women. You don't want to be submissive. You don't want to, let me lead. And it's just like, that's the other thing he doesn't preach. You got to be strong enough to lead. Like, that's one thing, especially with like some of these, like with Black women, especially, I think you can't just say, I'm finna lead a Black woman. She not finna just follow anything, because they already got their own mindsets, their own things that they're passionate about. Not saying that, people of other cultures don't, but, I'm just going to speak on my personal experiences, and I feel like that's the thing is, these dudes be wanting women to let them lead, but they're just not, a woman is looking at you like, bro, I'm with you every day. You're not no leader, and like, and that's just the realization of it. And so now you on YouTube looking at Kevin Samuels talking about how he over here disrespecting a woman, and that's how he getting her to, but it's just like, nah, I don't know, like, all that stuff just is wrong. And I feel like you shouldn't even have to go on YouTube to figure out how to deal with women, I feel like if you're on YouTube trying to figure out how to deal with women, you in the wrong anyway, but How you feel, Jelani?
These dudes be so corny on YouTube and just be the most generic, like high school, like, yeah, you gotta humble your girl. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, just be like, do you have like basic conversation? Like, do you have any type of charisma? Like, it don't be like people trying to make it seem like getting women is like this, like you gotta have like some type of like Harry Potter type spell to get women. Like, bro, you don't gotta be the flyest guy. You don't gotta be the prettiest dude. Like, do you have basic conversation? Do you have at least relatively something going for you in life? Do you have a consistent job, or you in school, or you got a dream that you following or something? Like all that corny, yeah, you need to be like this and dress like this to get women and wear 3-piece Farnsworth Bentley suits and all that. Like, get out of here, dog. That's corny.
How do you feel about the texting rules? Like, Nat Karen, it's like, oh, she texts, you gotta wait 5 minutes, or 15 minutes. You gotta text back 3 hours later to show her that you're on your purpose. How do you feel about all those rules and stuff like that?
Are we in kick in 2011? Like, what are we doing? Like, I got she takes 35 minutes to text me back. I gotta wait 37 minutes to text her back. Like, what? Like, it's not that deep, man. I don't even. Just don't be thirsty, like to the point where if you're not getting a response and you shooting air balls in her messages, then yeah, like you might want to fall back. But
yeah,
I'm not waiting. Like,
are y'all above the double text now? Because I feel like I used to be above it when I was younger. Now, sometimes I'll just be like, bro, life is too short to be worrying about a double text.
Yeah,
it depends on the situation.
Yeah, it really more depends. Like if we're having conversation and then I know you're going to respond regardless, it's like it is a difference when like they're going to respond to these messages whenever they get a chance to, as opposed to like I don't even know if you finna text me back ever again in life. But here's another one. That's a whole different situation. But
I ain't gonna lie, I started moving with this mentality of like I asked we went to school with a WNBA player, right? So we went to school with the WNBA player. So I hit up her cousin asking for an interview on the channel and stuff. And I was always hesitant for like probably the last 3-4 years to reach out to our cousin to ask for this interview because I didn't want to seem like, oh, this dude hasn't talked to me in 2013. The first conversation is his hand is out asking for something. Because I know how that felt like when I started getting a little buzz or whatever. So, but I realized, the older I got, people need people. Like, I'm going to need someone at some point. So, like, I stopped being like, oh, you only want me because you see me doing this, ABC. So I reached out to him, and I went with the mentality of if this person is mad that I asked them for something, the first time we spoke in 8 years, and they cut me off, block me, do whatever, I haven't spoken to that person in 8 years anyway. It's not like, it's not like we was cool. So, like, what relationship am I losing here? I'm losing a relationship that I didn't even really have to start off with. So how do you guys feel about kind of just that type of stuff of, if I DM this person and we ain't spoken in years, if they don't respond and they block me or whatever, we're not going to, we haven't even spoken in years anyway. Like it wasn't even a relationship there.
I feel.
No, go ahead, Mo.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like it kind of just really depends the situation, just like in the sense of you don't want to possibly burn a bridge on something. Like if you see the possibility of something, coming later, and it's just like, all right, maybe this isn't the right time for me.
I don't know, man. I don't know, Mo. I don't know.
Because I would just say, like, yeah, I feel certain things just have timing, because it could just be like, all right, I could hit this person up, but maybe, like, do you feel 3-4 years ago, like, with your page and everything, like, you would have the credibility to hit her up, and then, like, her to even respond, like, to even be like, all right, I'll see if she want to do it. And that's what I'm saying, it's like, if you see the foresight down the line, sometimes you got to be like, all right, let me go about this correctly. But if it's like, this is the line, like you're here, it kind of like it's either now or never, then in those situations, then yeah, whatever, go for it. But yeah, I say it depends the situation.
if they playing with your money, then by like all means,
Right.
that's a situation where it's definitely cool to double text. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like holier than thou. I've definitely like dealing with women, or like I've had where me and a girl might have like fallen off or whatever. And like I sent the last message and didn't get the response. And then like maybe like months later, like tried to shoot my shot out the blue. You know what I mean?
Oh
Either I
yeah,
got a
I've done
response
that.
or I didn't. So that's technically double texting because she didn't respond to the last message. You know what I mean?
But it's like life is short, Jelani. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really feel that way and you want to take one last shot, take one last shot.
And sometimes I'm double texting to see if you still alive. Like we have not spoken. Like you block me on social media. I want to know, is everything all right?
I will say that I ain't gonna cap, like, especially if it's a situation where I'm like, I have nothing to lose here. Like, I really don't care. Like, it's like, you know what? Good morning. I know we we haven't spoken like in months, but forget it. Like, good morning. How's it? Let's see if you gonna catch the bait. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
If
we
you
were
like
spoken
that.
since February, but I just wanted to know, hey, how was your 4th of July?
Right.
How was the family?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm the king of hitting up folks like months after, even like people I'm interested in. Is because like I get really busy from the day to day and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm the king of that. And people will be like, "Oh, I didn't know if you were really interested because you're never consistent." I'm like, bro, like I got billion things going on right now. But anyways, like back to the life is short thing. Jelani already touched on it a little bit, but kind of to close with something serious. Miriam, she I don't know her last name, but Miriam over there in Atlanta, I think she was probably in her early 20s, kidnapped and murdered over there by Grant Park in Atlanta. And this happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing new, especially in a major city like Atlanta. That's just like what comes with being in a major city. So a lot of people are like, Atlanta's not safe now. And it's like, no, this is nothing new. Like, Atlanta's never been safe, if that's what you consider safe. But this particular one really hit home because it was like when I saw her, it felt like someone I knew, and she was kind of like in an artsy crowd and stuff like that. So we had a lot of mutual friends, and I reached out to all of them and was like, thoughts and prayers out to you guys. But I guess my first thing, did you guys see that news? And if you did see it, what was your reaction to it? And even if you didn't see it, what's your reaction to hearing about it now?
Like, so exactly what happened? Like
She was a bartender downtown or somewhere in Atlanta, and she lives in Grant Park. So she drove home from the bar or whatever. It was 4 or 5 in the morning. She was kidnapped and murdered. And this was, I think, Friday. So 2 days
I
ago.
know it don't really matter, but what's her ethnicity?
She's Asian.
Asian. What's her last name?
I don't know. I just know her first name, Marion.
Wait, you said like we didn't go to school with her?
No, but I have mutual friends with her.
Oh, okay.
Like she knows Dalen. She knew Dalen, and she knew a couple. She knew Brian Switzer. Remember Brian Switzer? He was friends with her on Facebook, and he followed her on Instagram, but she didn't follow back. But yeah, Marion. So when I saw her, it looked like someone I knew. Like that's why it kind of hit so kind of
we went
close
to
to
school
home.
with a Miriam.
No, I don't think it's that Marion that you're thinking about though.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say like.
I think Miriam's good.
Oh, okay. Cool. I was like, bro, like you talking about all these people who went to Marietta.
Nah. She ain't go to Marietta, I don't think.
Oh, okay. All right, but I mean, I think that's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I mean, like you said, like Atlanta, especially like the parks and stuff like that, those areas, they're not as safe as they may seem. You're in the middle of the city, but it's not like, especially people just go walking in Piedmont, just middle of the night. I ain't gonna lie, it was one time years ago. I was like, the girl I knew lived down in that area. And then, so we were like chilling, talking, like walking. And then we end up like kind of walking into Piedmont. Cause it was over, we used to work at Botanical. And so we like walking in Piedmont after work one night. it didn't hit me at first that, bro, I'm in Piedmont and it's like 11 at night. And until I was like, and it just hit me all of a sudden. I was like, oh crap. I'm like, bro, we are really out here in the middle. It's like if I was to even scream right now, like nobody would hear us, you know? Because Piedmont is so big. But it's like little stuff like that, you know, you feel like, oh, I'm right here next to blah, blah, blah. But it's like, man, it's not safe, you know? But you got to be on high alert, man. Like, I think that's very unfortunate. And, you know, prayers up to and condolences to her and her family.
And she was walking into the house, too. Like, she parked from home. Yeah, parked from the bar or whatever, walked out, was going into her house. That's when she got snatched up.
Wow.
It just goes back to what I was talking about earlier about like the women's safety. Like,
yeah,
you know, like, don't get me wrong. It's always gonna be like double standards about being a man. There's certain things that we go through as men that are traumatic for us as well. But just from a safety standpoint, like it's not. I might think about, okay, somebody might try to rob me or like run up in your crib or something like that. But that's something they rob you for money or something. Like it's not like a sexual aspect about that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's always, though I just hate those type of stories, man. Just because I just start thinking about the women in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. By the way, respectively, this is a wild topic to end the show on. Like, like we just casually was like, hey, like, no, rest in peace to her. But just like, so how do you feel about that young woman that was murdered Friday?
It was something I thought about because it was just like on my mind all weekend. And then you brought up the thing of stuff that women have to deal with.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, so I just brought it up like on a whim. That it wasn't something that we planned or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I wanted to like when Jelani had brought that up earlier, I kind of wanted to say something about that. Just like with the women's safety and everything, it's like, you know, I think, you know, just for any man that's out there listening, you know, really think about just like the little moments of even if you walking through a parking lot, you know, you just go grab something to eat or you went to the grocery store real quick, you just walking back to your car. You thinking you just walking to your car. Like, you know, women, they really have to be on alert of like who's out here because you get snatched at any time. So I think, you know, like a lot of people don't really be thinking about that and thinking like and empathizing about those points, you know, and it's just like you got to really protect, you know, women out here, man.
No, facts.
Big facts. That's big facts. Anything else before we wrap up?
I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry I brought the mood down, but
oh no, you good, bro. Rest in peace, her though.
Nah, it's all good. Actually, I wanted to bring up something that we were supposed to bring up last pod, but we didn't get a chance to touch on. King Disease 2.
Nasty Nas.
I was thinking about it because I was listening to the last pod, and you know, Jelani had that point, like he was like, "Yeah, I know we're gonna touch on it later, but yeah, we never did." So, like, how'd y'all feel about
the Nas album, man? Go ahead, Jelani.
I didn't hear the full album. I heard a couple songs. The main point that I want to touch on though is that there's an Eminem verse on that album.
Oh yeah,
and it's like, fam, no disrespect to Eminem, like he is a hip hop legend. Like I respect him and all that. But it's like, bro, you don't have to try to rap as many words as possible every single verse. Like it's okay to just like you got like certain songs like Clips Grinding where the beat is simple and they just fit within the beat. Like it's okay to just flow. Exactly. Like it don't gotta be hypothetical, monetical, lettable. Like, bro, relax, dude. I'm not trying to hear you rhyme every single syllable in the English language, every song.
Oh, that's a fact. Like, yeah, I don't know. With Eminem, man, his music just don't hit for me. He used to be my favorite artist growing up. Like, around the time of, like, Stan, Superman, all that stuff. Like, and I feel like it wasn't all lyrical miracle then. You know, like, he was actually making songs. But now he's just stuck in the zone of, you know, I guess he just feels he has constantly something to prove.
Yeah, it's like when he it's like when people give him this criticism that Jelani just gave him, right? Like he hears it and he takes it as, "Oh, you don't think I can rap?" And then he like, and it's like nobody said that, Eminem. Like I promise you, he's been doing that for like the last probably ever since that, like around the time of that Joyner Lucas like track that he did, it's like ever since then, you know, when he had the thing with Joe Budden, it's
I'll
ever
say
since he
before
just
that.
been, and it's crazy, bro. Go ahead, Jelani, my bad.
Oh no, you got. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'll say before that. I say since Rap God came out, that's when it started.
Yeah.
Rap God came out, and then we all graduated the same year, so we was all in like college around that time. I remember like the white kids thought that was just the greatest. Like, I'm like, bro, this is cool. Like, I get it, but like, dog, I'm not trying to really. I had a white homeboy in college who would literally play that and ASAP Rocky Wild for the Night every time we got in the car. It's like, bro, we gotta diversify your playlist a little bit. These can't be the only two songs that you know from the Black community.
Right. Now, I feel like it's the same thing that Logic went through for a little bit, you know, of just, you know, I think with Eminem, he doesn't really have that much to say anymore. So you're not going to really connect with your Black fans as much because you just don't really have the stories to really say as much. You still have good bars, but it's like, so now I feel like he's really trying to gear towards his white fans. And it's like, let me just start rapping as fast as possible because this is what impresses y'all. Like a million words in 20 seconds is like, oh my gosh, he's the greatest. You know, when it's like, we don't look at
it. It's a cookout card, bro. It's a cookout card. Can you hit threes and can you rap fast? If you white, you rap fast and you hit threes, you're invited to the cookout.
Right. That's a fact.
That's funny.
White dudes can hit threes and rap fast, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
man.
I will say,
go ahead, Mo.
Back
I was gonna say, but yeah, like as far as the Nas album, I really liked it, man. I feel like this album was better than the first King's Disease. I really like the song, like the what was it, Death Row East? Like, you know, the good little story in there. He's talking about kind of like the Tupac situation. I really like the song Lauryn Hill. That was a good one. You Know the Vibes was cool. Like, you know, he's still trying to stay tapped in with the young crowd with A Boogie. And like, you know, it was cool. The EPMD, all that. But I feel my favorite song was No Phony Love. Like, No Phony Love, if y'all get a chance to listen to it with Charlie Wilson. I think, you know, just Charlie Wilson in general, you know, I'm always going to kind of gravitate toward his music.
Any Uncle Charlie, like, feature, I don't know why more people don't. I don't know if it's because he doesn't take all feature requests, but it's like, I don't think I've ever heard a song featuring Charlie Wilson that I didn't like.
Yeah, for real, bro. Like, I feel like that he had a really good feature on there. But yeah, I feel it was just a good album overall. You know, I think it's gonna age well, and I think for Nas, I'm happy for him just in the sense of I feel he was known as a rap legend from the '90s, but it was kind of like you were never J-Lo, you know, you were never like you could rap and you got but it's only the backpackers and like the people from, you know, who really know hip hop type stuff, like who really was giving him his credit. But now he's making just like with the longevity at this point, you know, you got to put him up there. You know, you got to be, because now he got Grammys. And then this one may go ahead and go get another Grammy. And it seemed like, you know, the music, and I feel like he did it perfectly by going with Hit Boy, by going with a producer, because the biggest thing is his beats were bad. Like everybody was like, his beats were boring, all this stuff. You with one of the best producers of all time, you know, it's like you can't miss no more. So I think, you know, that's really good. And I think, you know, it's just a good overall album.
I like the first one better. But this one just came out. You know, I only listened to it in its entirety once. I really like the song Memories, or Moments. I think the song's called Moments. Yeah. And he's talking about like your first time buying a crib, and he's like just, you know, talking about life, and it's like there's a bunch of points.
First time you listen to Nas, I was
like, like the whole time, like I was like, oh, I remember the first time, and then I was like, well, I'm looking forward to my first time doing this and doing that. So like, I don't know, I really connected with that one, the Lauryn Hill song, like he said, a couple other tracks, the Charlie Wilson song. I like the project. But I like the first one better, just because, I don't know, probably listened to it a bunch of times when I listen to this a bunch of times, I probably like it better. But yeah, that's how I feel. It was a good album, and like you said, he beat Freddie Gibbs last time, which was, I don't know, it wasn't as lopsided as Freddie Gibbs tried to make it seem like, when he was like, I can't believe Nas got it. I was way ahead of him. It was like, yeah, not that much difference between y'all two albums, but
Yeah.
we'll see who else drops this year. I don't know if you can call it rap album of the year with the Grammy though. You got Cole, you got Tyler, obviously, this album now, and Isaiah Rashad is in the conversation. Very good album, Isaiah Rashad. I'm not even an Isaiah Rashad guy. I always was in the boat of like, he kind of on the boring side for me, but I like the last album.
Yo, quick question before we end. Kanye and Drake drop same day. Who album you going to listen to first?
Yay, Yeezy.
Drake, just because I've heard the beta version of this Kanye album already. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Drake is, he did the same thing with Views, where it's like, bro, I get like the such thing as like wanting to capitalize on momentum and release at the same time. It's like, bro, don't put out the release date. It was gonna be like that. Like, just say coming soon, because he's changed up it was supposed to come out like summer 2020 originally.
I think Valentine's Day or like January or something like that, right?
No, yeah, really.
Even before then, it's supposed to come out like 2020 originally.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the reason he put out the Dark Lane demo tapes project.
And he tore his ACL.
Yeah, he tore his ACL. Well, he did tear his ACL, but he blamed him not putting the album on the torn ACL. I was like, bro, you are not like, you talking like you like a pro athlete or something. You gotta like relax, dude. You can put the music out, but either way, it's still been like 2 years. Because you remember when he first announced Views like beginning of 2014. Because I remember he announced Views and then he put out Draft Day and Days in the East on the same.
He had the 0 to 100. He said we already got spring 2015 popping.
Right.
And then he said not to mention me dropping.
And it didn't come out till spring 2016.
Yeah, because remember, and then the Meek beef in summer 2015, because he put out the 2015 thing, the Throwaway song, which was like one of his best projects, probably. A lot of people's favorite Drake project was that Throwaway tape. If you're reading this too late. And then in the summer with the Meek thing, he said, took a break from Views, now it's back to that. And he did all that, and Views wasn't even that, well, okay, all right, here's my hot take. Views wasn't even that good.
Views was mid. I agree with you. It was Views was like generic versions of songs that we already heard before.
No, but he had my favorite Drake song on it though. Mo Knows. And I ain't trying to make me feel away.
Oh, Feel No Way?
Yo. Ooh, that song is great. That song is great.
He got in a whole different bag with that one. Like, it's like pop, but still like hip hop, but like, I don't even know. He just really got into a bag. It's like a bag that I felt like he kind of got into with
Just Hold On. Just Hold On, We're Going Home.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like it was like the better version of that, which is, and Just Hold On, We're Going Home is the better version of Find Your Love. You know, it's just like, it's been elevated. And I felt like Feel No Ways was just the sounds on there, bro. Like, I love that song.
It was a really good song. And I felt like it's kind of underrated in a way because, you know, that's when he started doing all that, like, exclusive, you got to have this app to listen to it. It's only on streaming platforms type stuff. But, like, that's why Tyler, Creator, had him performing. He's like, I don't perform this at Camp Vlog now, but Tyler wanted me to perform, and they started booing him because he wasn't Frank Ocean, which is just crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I feel that's crazy, man. I feel like personally though, I'm gonna probably go listen to Drake album first. But
wait, I want to know what Jelani feels about how he feels about Feel No Ways.
It's a cool song. It's not like a Drake song that I go back to. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Drake fan. Like, I'm genuinely I like Drake, but I feel like it's specific types of Drake that I like.
So what's your favorite song off of Views?
Views. Oh man, Grammy with Future. That's probably the one I play the most. You didn't rock with that?
Not better than Feel No Ways is like one of my favorite Drake songs. Period. Like,
it's dope, but I don't. You know what? I like More Life was, I felt like that's the album that I wanted him to put out. Like that was like when More Life came out, I was like, bro, why didn't you put this out instead of Views? Like this was the best.
Really?
Yes.
I like More Life, but it wasn't like my favorite.
More Life was very forgettable.
I feel the same way about Views. I don't know.
Views was forgettable. Views
this man said Rock
No Ways was a good song.
This man said Rock So Many Chains, they call me Chaining Tatum. And we was letting Drake get away with a lot of like, he was getting away with a lot during that Views era, man, because he was like that was like his peak probably as a pop star. Like One Dance was the biggest song on the earth at that point.
Yeah.
And he was on Work, which was another one of the biggest songs on earth at that point. So like, yeah, I mean, Grammys was fire.
Redemption. You don't like Redemption?
I gotta refresh my memory to what that sounds like. I listen to Views literally. Views and Thank Me Later are the two Drake albums I listen to the least by far.
Bro, I love Thank Me Later, bro.
It's nostalgic because we were in high school at the time.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of projects where I just like it because it puts me back in the mode of the memories of where I was when I was playing it heavy.
Yeah. Have y'all heard any of the leaks from like Drake's album, like Vital or Zodiac Signs or like Lucky Lefty? Any of those?
I don't like listening to leaks anymore.
I had. Oh, go ahead.
No, because it's a short point. Just either a lot of times either won't make the album or like that version. They like you hear the album, then it'll be drastically different. Like it's Kanye songs that leaked in like 2010, 2011 that never came out. I just got like the snippet of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had a leak from What a Time to Be Alive too. It was Big Mood. Big Mood was the name of the song. I loved it. And it's never gonna come out. And I'm like, dang, I wish that song could have came out. But you know, so that's how I feel about. I feel like Drake has probably the hardest leaks for sure. Pause. But like his leaks be fire for sure. For sure.
Nah, he got this one song called Not Around. And it's like, bro, it sounds like a personal attack at some young lady, bro. Like, cause it's like the mama was not around, daddy was not around, and then like talking about how she moved out of state, she trying to get a loan, like she trying to build up her business. But I'm like, all right, bro, like you really. But it's a good song though. Like somebody had sent me supposed to be Drake's album, and I was like, I listened to it, I was like, this ain't it. This is not his album. I know for a fact this is not his album. But he had a few songs on there. It was cool.
I guess Drake is a psychopath.
Oh, go ahead, John. What you say?
Drake, like if you really listen to what Drake talks about in his music, that man is like his like Hotline Bling, for example. Like if you really listen to that song, you don't need no one else. You don't need nobody. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, this man said, "Why are you always on the phone? What are you like? She can't use the phone, dog. Like, what are you talking about, bro?"
No, that man Jelani, bro.
My man said I should have hit you out in where he say Texas.
Katy, Texas, Dallas.
Yeah,
like, where no one can find you. Like, bro, what?
Man, like, Jelani, he said he asked the girl whatever what she was doing with another dude, and he messed up the bag like that. It's like, dang, so you got that from Drake, from listening to Drake, like subliminally of having those insecurities about her knowing who other men are in the world.
I was just being corny, man. I don't know what it was like. Something about that girl just brought the corniness out of me, man. I've literally never done nothing like that ever before.
I've had plenty of it. It's a part of growing up. That's all it is.
Well, outside of like high school, I definitely did like my high school girlfriend, but I was maybe like 22, 23 when this happened. Yeah, we talked about a lot this episode.
Yeah.
I feel like the corniest stuff I did. I feel like my corniest moments was, as I was telling Rashad earlier this week, like some of that stuff we did on Chicken Nation, bro. Like some of those songs, like, oh my gosh. Like just some of the name drops that we put on there. Like I think the one that I regret the most, oh my gosh. And I sent it to the dude that she was talking to at the time. I'm gonna call blank for the top. You remember it?
Oh man, I gotta go back. I remember.
I know. I'll tell you after we record, bro. I'll tell you after we record.
Yeah, bro. And I didn't. But I didn't know they was talking. I did not know they was talking. And like, because nobody knew they was talking, but I sent it to him. And I remember his reaction was like, I like the beat or some shit like that. And I was like, that was weird. Like, I know I was snapping on here. Like, you know, but I was
What
just
did
like,
this man not like?
yeah, you know, like it was like, I don't know, something about it. I was like, all right, there's something weird about that. But then, you know, time revealed, like, you know, he was talking to a girl, and I was like, oh, yeah, you probably was not rocking with that. But
That was a hilarious era because we'd be like, I have a list of girls that I like. I'm texting 5 of them, and let me name them all right now in this song. A,
Literally.
B, C, D. That was literally what we were doing. It was really bad. It was really bad looking back on it.
Yeah, the shout outs was we were young and wild at the time.
yeah.
But the more wild, the more fun it was. Like the more funny it was, and the more plays it would get and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's
right.
life of balances. Check.
I got to go back and listen to it now when we get off here, just to refresh my memory.
Got to.
Yeah, it was like the last line of my verse too. Finna call Bob for the top. So
I feel like as soon as we
Zendaya,
I want to know that.
Bob.
Oh yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, you still got to tell me the name when we get off of here. But
yeah.
Jay Easty, man with the moves, call me match key. I still know all the words, bro.
That verse was that song didn't get as much love as the one we put out before that, but
yeah, we don't need
that one was way better.
Chorus.
That was the best song. That was the best song.
But that was a moment, bro. Just like
with Chris and everybody. It was hard. That was
we don't need no chorus. We don't need no chorus.
Oh, you talking about no chorus? Oh man.
I remember when we recorded that.
What was that? Was that like the most popular one with Jelani?
That was probably the most popular one, yeah. Because the other one, it didn't get as much. And we talking about we sound so.
Hey, I think it's time to wrap it up, guys. We're starting to talk. In high school, I was when I was 18,
back in 2013, I was the
truth. I was the truth in 2011. In 2011, they didn't tell you I was the truth. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. Hey, appreciate all you guys tuning in for episode 2. We're gonna continue talking about high school once we stop recording. I hope you guys enjoyed it, all that good stuff, and take care of yourselves.